Hello everyone, Hector Mendoza. In this video, I want to show you how to create a invoice using forms. Now, what I'm using is Adobe Acrobat DC. So by the end of this video, you should be able to have or let's say create an invoice. And if you notice right here, let's enlarge this area. So right now 1 times 2 is 200, right? 3 times 2, 600. 3 times 3, 900. If you notice, all these things are changing as we go in here and type. So let's say 2 or 4 times 4, 1600. As we calculate this 2 and put in the calculation here, this number will add those. Then we'll add some tax rates, sales tax. Either we can say that they made a $500 deposit or a $100 deposit, and then it gives you your total. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get a invoice from Excel. Hopefully you have Excel. If you don't, just give me a second and then you'll be able to create your own list and follow along with me. But if you do have Excel, let's do something real quick. Let's open up Excel and let's go in and create a new Excel file. Under Office, I want you to type simple, S-I-M-P-L-E, invoice, and just hit enter, and it's going to give you a bunch of different kinds of invoices, right? So these are templates, so I want you to select this one right here. Okay, it has this little logo here, and it'll say simple invoice. So we're gonna double click, and then it creates the invoice. So let me show you what it looks like. Okay, now we want to convert this to a PDF. So we're gonna go to File, Save as a Adobe PDF. Leave all the settings the way they are. It should say sheet, invoice, and then you'll see invoice here. And then of course, you know, just leave actual size and then tell it convert to PDF. We're gonna take it to the, well, you can put it wherever you want. So let's just take it to the desktop, and then I'm just naming it exactly the way it is. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. So right now, this is a PDF, and we're going to convert this PDF into a form. Okay, so there's two ways of viewing Acrobat. So you see right here where it says disable new Acrobat. That means that I'm viewing my Acrobat as the new Acrobat. You can go back and forth if you want. So the difference basically is going to be that the menus, you know, the menus will change a little bit. These things will change a little bit, and so all tools will be here. On the old one, the tools are going to be on this side. Okay, so so what we're going to do, in case you don't see those tools here, I'm going to close it, and I'm going to click here where it says all tools. Now you see this, prepare a form. On yours, it's probably not going to be up there because I told it to be up there. So You might not see that in this list. Even if you go all the way down, you see the scroll button, you still might not see it. So you might have to tell it to view more. And then at that point you can see it. Then what you would do is you can right click on it and move it up one level at a time until it gets to wherever you want it. But for this purpose, I wanted it there because we're going to be using it back and forth. Like I said, this is a PDF right now, so we're going to prepare a form is basically what we're going to do. Okay, so if I click on prepare a form, you're going to see this dialog box. And if you're following me, then what you would do is select a file, because you know we've already converted this. We're gonna click on create form. If you wanted to use a different file, you would change file. Here you would go select it, right? So for right now, we're just gonna create form. Now this is a form. The first thing you see on the right hand side is all these fields, and then you got your prepare for a form, and it's all your tools. So you see all these fields. Acrobat went and converted what it thinks is a fillable or a field that should calculate and do functions to this Excel file. We're going to make it easy because right now we have all of this calculations that they're actually, you know, boxes, and each one of them have a different function. So if you notice down here, everything's highlighted, and so watch this. I'm going to go to the top and look in this area here. Look in this area when I only select A85 or 75. See, it highlighted this down here. Okay, now there's a lot of ways that you can delete these fields. For instance, I could lasso by left clicking, selecting all of those, and you can tell that they're selected because they're blue, and these fields down here are selected. I accidentally selected this one here, this one. Now I can hold my shift key and deselect it, or excuse me, my control key and click on it to deselect it. Okay, because I want to show you how to select and deselect. So we're eventually going to delete the one that I showed you, but just in case you selected something you did want to select, you can hold your control key and deselect it. All I'm going to do is on my upper right hand corner on my keyboard, I'm going to hit delete. If you notice, all of those boxes went away and all of this fields went away. Now we still got this one, here. Let's select them all. Those that I want to go ahead and remove. So these are fillable fields, so we're going to go ahead and hit delete. Now what this thing shows you, that this is page 1. You could have 15 pages and you would have fields in every page. Now another thing that I don't want is, you see all of this right here? I want to create my own boxes, and so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to left click somewhere up here, right in here. I'm going to left click and lasso by moving my mouse while I'm holding my left click, and it didn't select it. So let's do it again. Let's start from this side. Right now, okay, so the reason that it's not letting me select it is because we are in the prepare a form, let's say mode. I am gonna click off of that by clicking here. Okay, now we are in the PDF form, you know, that back to the PDF. It's like two different kinds of functions. If I click on edit and make sure that I have that selection tool selected, now I can left click and lasso those like them. I didn't select those up there so that I can show you, so I'm gonna delete those. Now I'm gonna lasso those, okay, and you can see them highlighted because you see a square around the ones that are selected. I'm gonna reduce this. I'm gonna come down here, and we're gonna do the same thing here. Left click, lasso, but I'll release the left key, and I'm gonna delete. Oh, now you see right here. Okay, I can't select, but right in here, it deleted that line, right? So I'm gonna hit Control Z. This time, I'm not gonna go out, so I'm gonna left click. I went too far. This time, I'm just gonna go like this. Okay. If you notice, this time it didn't select that right line. So I'm gonna hit delete. Hit Control 0. Fits everything into my my 100%, you know, the view 100%. While I'm in this stage, you know, this is not important, but I want to show you something. So, you know, this program went and created fonts. Some of them are bold, you know, sometimes it creates it a different font type. So if I went in here, left click right here and lassoed all of those, it's selecting all that text. Okay, so under edit, I can change them to Arial. Okay, AR. So I can click on Arial, and let's say I wanted it to be 11-point text, and I just hit enter. If you notice, okay, now this is way too big. So let's, while it's selected, let's change it to 9-point text, hit enter, and that's okay. Now, if you notice, there are some that are bold and some of them are not. So if I click on that one box, I can take the bold out of it. Okay, so if I click there, now this one's bold, and if you notice, you see that black box. So if I click on it, it's no longer bold. Now it looks a little more, well, it looks like we got another one here. We got another one. Oh, actually, what's happening, I'm selecting the space. So let's double click, click there. Now it's changed it. Let's double click, change. Double click, change. Now you don't have to do all of this. This is just, I'm showing you some, what you can do if you wanted to make this form look good. Okay, all this other type text we're going to leave alone. Now at this point, we've done a few things. So I'm going to save this file, but I want to be in the you know, I want to go to all tools, and I want to go under prepare a form. So I'm going to click on create form. I'm gonna, now it's going to ask me to save it. Okay, So, and I'm going to go ahead and hit save. The reason I want to do this because I want to save it as a form so where I don't have to go back and forth. Now, I'm just going to go to my desktop. I'm not going to change the name. Right now it's a PDF, not a form, just a PDF. I'm going to hit save. This is going to replace that PDF. And I'm going to hit save. That way we can, now I don't know if you noticed, but it closed the file and then reopened it. Now, actually, I should have done that the first time because look what it did. I saved it as a PDF, but I really need to save it as a form. Now it went and gave me all those boxes again. Okay, so what we're gonna do real quick, we're just gonna select all of those. I'm gonna delete, go in here, delete, right here, delete those. There's some right there. It just randomly places box where it thinks it needs to create a box for a form, but we're not going to use their stuff. We're going to use our stuff. So I'm going to hit Control S again and go back because I want to save this form. You know, I want to make sure that that I have the right form. So I'm just going to hit save. Yes, I want to replace it. We've got too many changes, so I like to save every once in a while. Okay, now now we're going to create these forms. They're called, you know, that's what it's called, creating a form. I do have a PDF, excuse me, I have a video that explains a lot of the stuff that we're gonna go over. The only thing this video is to show you calculations, okay? And so there's another video that shows how to use all this stuff here, all of this different kinds of components that you can use. I have a PDF that explains all of those. So let's start creating this form. I'm going to go right in here, enlarge this area, and I am going to create a text field. I'm going to click here, and it loads this little box, this gray box, right? So I'm going to left click and fill it right here. So I want to fill this whole little box, right? So I'm going to release it, and I can hit tab, and then let me hit escape, and it releases the that load function. Okay, so let's enlarge this area. It's real important how these components are labeled or text fields. So if you notice right here, I can select it this way, or I can select it this way and it automatically selects here, back and forth, right? So you can right click here, or you can right click here, and we're going to go to properties right in here. So now, so it's really important how you label this stuff. So if you're following me, what I want you to do is go to General. You're going to type QTY, which is quantity, and you're going to put a number 1, which is this right here. Okay? This is going to be the column. So, and we have to put a 1 because we're going to have to, that column is going to have a bunch of quantities, and each one of them has to have their own name. And I'll explain later why. But on the appearance, I have videos about this. We're not going to go over this because, you know, so let's go to options. And there are things that I explain about oh, it's for some reason it's not letting me. So let me close out of here and let's go to properties. Oh, here we go. It wasn't letting me select different things. So here's your options. On the options, on the quantities, I want, when I type, I want everything to be in the center, okay? So on this particular column, so we're gonna click center. Now, so we're gonna go to format. And for this particular box, this whole column, I want this to be numbers. And you see right here, decimal twos, right here, all I want is numbers because they're going to be quantities. So decimal twos would be like for numbers and things of that nature. So we're going to click on 0. This is what it would look like. Okay, we're not going to put no currency symbols because this is numbers. So for right now, we're going to leave everything. We're not going to do no calculations. I'll show you what this whole video is about calculations, but under this circumstance, we're not going to do anything. So let's go ahead and hit close. So as you're making changes to this field, you can copy and paste that box, and all you have to do is change the name and keep some of those settings so that you don't have to continue making changes after changes in every one of those tabs. So if I click here, I'm going to reduce this down a little bit, okay, and then I'm going to hit Control C, I'm going to hit Control V, and you notice this, it loaded this because Control C means copy, Control V is paste. And I'll make sure that I click in the middle of that box to do this. Now, so let's move this over. Oops. Let's move this over so you can see down here. Okay, so I'm going to get this box and I'm going to move it right here. Okay? And I'm going to make it a little bit smaller just for the, that's how you make it smaller. I'm going to move it over to the left a little bit. Now, I'm going to, remember I told you can right click to go to properties. Another thing you can do is just double click and it will go to properties. So I'm okay with the appearance, the position, the options, so actually I'm not okay with the options. On this one here, I want the text to be flush right or right justified, however you want to say it. So, or alignment to right. All this other stuff that you see right here for right now, don't worry about none of this stuff right here. Don't worry about that for right now. So now on actions, you don't have to worry about it. Now here we go. On format, where we are using numbers, because remember this is a unit price. So we're going to go into 2 decimals, like 100. And so far this is what it's looking like. You see, 2 decimals, 4,125.23, which is just an example. And then this tells you how you can separate those numbers. We're going to just keep that like that. Currency symbol, we want to use a $sign. Okay, so we're going to click on $sign. And now this is what it would look like if you had numbers in there. Under validate, nothing for right now. And under calculate, values is not calculated. Okay, we're not adding nothing at this point. So let's go ahead and hit close. We are going to put a box under discount, but we're not going to do nothing with it at this point. And on discount, it's going to be numbers just like the unit price. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to hit Control C, Control V, and put that there. Everything's good. We're using numbers, we're using, you know, symbols, no calculations, but you need to right click, or you can double click, and we're going to change to see all the tabs. You're going to have to click on position, and then all of a sudden you'll see general to the left. I want you to type discount, DISCOUNT, and we're going to hit the number 1 because that's going to be our first thing. Remember, we're not doing no calculations. We're going to hit close. Now I am going to move to the right a little bit because we have one more. Okay, so let me move this to the right. Okay, now same thing here. Now this column is a little bit bigger, so let's kind of move this over a little bit, and I'm enlarging it to the left and to the right. Now everything as far as calculations I'm happy with. Now I'm going to hit Control C, Control V, because I want to use those same settings, and then this one is a little bit shorter, so we make it a little bit smaller. Now, so right here, look, this unit price, we need to double click here, change the name to UNIT PRICE. You notice that I didn't use no space. You cannot use a space in between words, otherwise no calculations will occur. Okay, so we're going to hit close. So I got quantity 1, unit price, discount 1, and actually the unit price I need to change it to 1. Price, see, I copied and paste that discount, and I'm not going to explain it why, but in a minute I will. So right now I'm going to change that to PRICE 1. Okay, so quantity 1, unit price, that has to have a 1 in there. Okay, and you can name it the way you want, but for our training purposes, this is what we got to do. Discount 1, price 1. All right, so now on this field I want to multiply the quantity to the unit price. So I'm going to double click here. I like all my tabs, all my settings, I like the way they are because they're numbers and the positioning. Excuse me, I want it aligned to the right. On actions, I didn't do nothing. The formats, it's my 2 decimals. Now on calculations, I'm going to do a simple calculation. At this point, I am not going to do any discounts, so I can show you some simple calculations, and later on I'll show you how to use what we call simplified field notations. So we're going to make this simple to multiply. I'm going to, like I said, I want to multiply quantities to unit price in this not column but row. Okay, so let's go to calculations. You have to click, oh here, you can just go right here and go to calculations. So we can click on value is, and what we're going to do right now, we're going to multiply. So we're not going to use sum, we will in a few minutes. Right now I want you to click on products X. X is multiply, right? So we're going to multiply, and we're going to pick, if you see here, pick. We're going to pick, what did I say, quantity 1 times unit price 1, okay, and then I'm going to hit OK, and then I'm going to close. Okay, so let's see what we've done so far. So we're going to preview. So let's say I had 4, and let's say the unit price is $200, and remember that's 800, right? But you see on the quantity I didn't want a dollar sign there, so let's go ahead and change that. Let's go to exit preview. We're gonna double click here. We're gonna select this. This time I'm gonna go down here, which is the same as right clicking. Oops. Not here. Right click properties. It wouldn't let me do it down there for some reason. Okay, so format. I want numbers. I do not want decimals on this one. I'm gonna hit close. Preview. No. Yeah, and I forgot to take out the dollar sign. Good. So this is good that I'm making this mistakes, because now you know how to fix your problems. Okay, so let's double click, and currency symbol, none. Okay, close, preview. 4 units times $200 is $800. So that's how we can add 2 boxes. So now that we have the formulas for each column, we can duplicate and rename those boxes without having to change a bunch of stuff. So we're gonna exit preview, because we can't make changes while in preview. I'm gonna click here. I'm gonna hold my shift key, click here, click here, click here, or I can click here, hold my shift key, and click all of those, or I can left click and lasso all of those that way. There's a lot of ways of selecting this stuff. While they are selected, and you can tell they're selected by the way by the way it's blue. Okay, now we're gonna hit Control C, or you can right click and copy. Okay, so same thing, Control C. You can see it right there. So we're gonna click there, and you can right click and paste, or you can just hit Control V. Now while they are selected, you can move them into the position that you want. Okay, we're gonna hit Control V again, because we've already told it to copy that 4 selections, right? The 4 boxes. So we're gonna hit Control V. We're gonna click in the middle of one of those boxes, doesn't matter which one, and we're gonna put it in place. Now let me show you what will happen at this point. We're gonna hit preview. If I change the quantity here to 5 and hit enter or tab, look what happens. It changed everything, and everything here duplicated it. Why? Because the naming of those fields. So we're okay with the number 1. Now I'm going to exit preview. Here, now we need to go with this row. So first, I'm going to double click on quantity 1, go to general, change the number 1 to a 2, hit OK. I'm going to go to unit price, change the 1 to a 2, hit OK. Go to discount, change discount 1 to a 2, close. Then do the same thing to price, backspace 2, close. Now watch what happens. if I change this one here to a 6, hit tab, it changed this one. And excuse me, it changed this one, but it didn't change this one because this one still has the same name. So let's go ahead, exit, and in this quantity, that's number 3. So I'm going to backslash quantity, backspace 3, go to the end, backspace 3, go to the end, backspace 3, close, preview. Now if I change this to a 4 and hit tab, it changed. 4 times 2 is 1200. You see how they're all 1200? Because price unit, I must have not changed the names of those. Okay, and here, let me see here. So let's change this to a 100. That's okay, and let's change that to a 300. And they should have changed that to a 12. Okay, so here we need to figure out why it's not multiplying 600. Well, that one's okay, but here it's not multiplying 5 times 2 and 4 times 3. So let's exit the preview. Oh, I know why. Okay, so look, if I double click here, we did name it, but when we go to the calculate, you see this unit price where it says value is, we need to click here. The first time, the first row was quantity, or let's say number 1 of all the columns. So now let's deselect everything. So that deselects everything. So now we need discount 1, excuse me, number 2, price number 2, and unit price number 2. And we're going to hit OK, and then we're going to hit close. So let's preview. So if we multiply 6 times 2, now it's still not adding it. So let's exit preview. Okay. Oh, okay. So you see right here. Actually, I take that back. Okay, so we don't want to add, we want to multiply. So okay, so we're going to pick quantity 1 times discount, right? So we don't want price number 2. We want unit price number 2 and quantity number 2. We want to multiply those two, and then we're going to hit close, preview. Now it's 12. 6 times 200 is 12. We got to do the same thing to this one here. Okay, so let's exit preview. Let's double click here and let's calculate. So we're gonna pick, deselect everything. We're gonna go to unit price 3 and quantity 3. We're gonna hit OK, close, preview. Now 3 times 4 is 12, and 5 times 3 is 15. So all of those are working. So that's how you do calculations. So the next thing we got to do, now of course you would add your own stuff in here. We're just going to do 3 because I don't want this to be a 10-hour video. So I do like the formatting of the fields, except now we want to add this one, and this one into this column. So what we can do, we're going to exit out of preview, because that's the only way you can make alterations to this form. We're going to click here. We're going to hit Control C, Control V. We're going to get this and stick it right in here. Everything looks good, except I want it to say invoice subtotals, right? So I'm going to double click, go to position, and then go to general. And we're going to call this Invoice subtotal. Remember, do not put any spaces. You know, don't put any spaces there, even though there's one here. Okay, now we're going to go to calculations. Okay, on this one here, we're not going to use values. We're not going to multiply. We're going to add columns. So I'm going to click on picker, and we're going to deselect it. We just hit deselect all. Hit OK. Now we are going to add sum. We're going to add everything in a column. So we're going to hit plus. We're going to pick price 1 right here, price 1, price 2, price 3 will give us this, right? So let's go to price 1. We click here to select it. Then price 2, price 3, OK, close, preview. So 1500 plus 1200 plus 600 should equal to 300. So let's kind of double check. I like to double check my stuff. I mean, you can see that that it is, my Excel is not loading up right now. All right, so let's let's check out those calculations. So we're going to say 600, 1200, and 1500, and let's click here and get the sum of that. Okay, so all we got to do is click here, enter, and the calculation should be 330, and there it is, 330. So we know those calculations were good. Okay, so that's how you add those. All right, so let's go ahead and finish this up. Let's exit preview. We want to get the tax rate, and some states have it, some don't. We're going to pretend we're just going to put a 1% tax rate. So what we're going to do is, let me use calculation. I guess I'll use this same box. I'm going to hit Control C, Control V. The first thing I want to do is change this name to general to TAXRATE. Let me see here. So I want to make sure I got the right name. I'm going to copy and paste it just to be on the safe side. Oops. Okay. So tax rate 1. Okay, so so let's go ahead and look at appearance. It's okay. Position's okay. Options. We want it to the right. Actions. Format. Dollar. Yep. Dollar sign. Everything looks good. Then we are going to go to calculations. We're gonna click here. Deselect everything. Hit OK. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use this simplified field notation. So what I want to do is I want to get the let me copy and paste this so that I don't I'm going to edit. I'm going to put the name of this right here, and I'm going to tell it I want to multiply. So if I hold my shift key, the 8 will give me my multiplication, and we're going to do 0.01, which is 1%. We're going to hit OK. We're going to close, preview. $33 is 3% of 3,300. So we're good there. Now we got to do the sales text. So I can use this one and then just use the 0.063 multiplication, which is 6.25%. So watch. So we exit. I'm gonna click here. I'm gonna hit Control C, Control V. Then I'm gonna go right in here. I am going to go to the calculate. I'm going to add it. Instead of 0.01, I'm going to go 0.0625, which is 6.25%. I'm going to hit OK. Then I'm going to close, and then I want to preview 206. Let me get my calculator on my phone, or here, let's do it this way. Do I have my Excel? Yep. So let's go to 33. Oops. Delete. Okay. So let's go to 3300. So equals this times hit a wrong key, times 0.0625, enter 206.35. Okay, because I did not save that name, it changed my other thing. So I need to go hit edit. This one here, I need to go to general, change that to sales tax, and then hit OK. Now because I didn't change it, it changed this one here. So we need to go to the calculation, edit, change this to 1, OK, close, preview. Now everything's good. So now we got to do a formula. Or first, let's put a deposit received. So let's exit preview, and the one we're going to use, we're just going to use a basic. So we're going to click here, Control C, Control V, and we're going to change this name to, let me see, this Control V, which is the name that we're going to use. Let's close. Okay, now and let's hit 0. Okay, so we have to add all of this. Now one thing is this sales tax, on this one here, on the deposit, we want to use a negative or a minus. So watch what we're going to do. We are going to just create a total new box. So let's exit preview. I'm going to create a text box. I could use one of those, but just to make it easier, I'm going to create the box. Escape to deselect it. On this box, I want to call it total. Okay, so appearance, it's okay. Option, I want it to the right. format, we're going to use number, decimal 2, $, and then under calculation. So we're going to click on simplified fill notation, and here what I'm going to do is I'm going to open parenthesis, type this, then plus this, plus cell text. So that's what this is. Open parenthesis, all of those words, and then close the parenthesis. Then I'm going to subtract this one right here. Okay, so let's see if it works. Okay, close, preview, and it did not work. So let me see what happened. Alright, so I had a typo error here. So it's open parenthesis, invoice subtotal plus text rate 1 plus sales text, close parenthesis, minus deposit received 1. So when you hit OK, then you close. Now if I hit preview, that's without removing anything on the let's say on a deposit. So let's say they give me a $539.29 deposit, and then so I hit enter. Now the total is $3,000. So that's what they would owe me. All right, so this is how you can create an invoice using the prepare a form. Now there's a lot more that you can do with prepare form. I have a bunch of videos that show you a bunch of things. So if you go to my videos, let's go exit view, I'll explain about each one of these things, and I'll go into detail on each one of them. Thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next video.